video or this video, we're going to set up a wireframe. Now wireframes, you can actually kind of skip this point if you want, or this video or this section. Wireframes are really just, we've done them in project 1 where we kind of had these sketches, and I actually don't have one set up yet, but just so we are wireframes in InDesign. Just so we're all kind of aware of what those are, is these dummies. Like, so these are very formal ones. These are ones where these are for interactive pieces and websites. But wireframes are really just kind of these literally kind of wires, or these boxes, or this kind of mock-up of what the layout might look like. So if I do one for print design, you might start to see kind of what people have done to kind of just mock up what a page layout might look like. And it's just, again, it's just ways to kind of quickly test what you might kind of start laying the document out as. We've done them in most of these are going to be for web. We did them, like I said, in the for project 1, and they're just, again, to kind of quickly sketch up what we think the layout might be. Now, I haven't set one up for this file, but you can either just ignore this all, or you can take, based upon kind of what you think might be. Is there something extra there? What is that? Oh. We can start setting up some wireframes, or some dummy text, or some kind of image frames and some text frames if we want. So in our pages window, we can zoom in a little bit. We can start adding where we're going to start, adding some frames where we're going to start putting some, say, an image here. And just make sure that's to the bleeds. Now, I forgot to do one thing. Yeah, so that, make sure that for the images and the text that you're on the right layer, I'm going to lock the master items. They're not going to be clickable within the actual pages. They're only obviously clickable here in the master pages. But if I have that master item, oh, I have these in the wrong layer. Oh, Chloe. So because I've done that, I have stupidly done that. I'm just going to select these. I'm back in, made a mistake, but it's good to see when you make a mistake how to fix it. So back in my pages, master pages, I have this these folios in the wrong layer. So I do not want them in the text layer. So I'm going to select these two folios in the master. And you can see when I do that, there's a little, or you can see that they're there if I use the little drop down here, or the little sub layers. You can see, if I don't have the sub layers visible, you can see that there's like a little active dot there. And so you can actually click on that active dot, and you can actually click, hold, and drag, and you can move it to another layer. Imagine, isn't that exciting? You didn't know that, did you? Alternatively, I can just get the layer, and I can just, the sub layer, and move it as well into another layer. So once I have done that, you'll see that whatever color you have associated with that layer, if I have a different color associated with it, that's fine. But then it will move into the correct layer. I want to make sure that I have those folios in that master items layer. Once I've done that, I'm going to lock it so I don't mess it up again. I'm going to go back to my pages window, go back to my actual pages, and then make sure I have images selected. Sorry, images, so I should have images selected. That is in the correct, good layer. Now I can kind of go through it and start adding some text layers, or text text boxes. So I can just kind of start adding some text boxes. Now, when we're adding text boxes, we want to use those columns. So remember those columns, pressing W. These are columns. So this is a single column. Oops, get the text. Actually, I'll just delete this for a second. This is a single column. This is a single column. That is a single column. That is the single column with a gutter. That is 2 columns and a gutter. These are rows. There's 1 row, 2 rows with the gutters in between. So we want to align our text boxes to those columns. We zoom in a tiny bit. So we don't want to just put the text boxes anywhere we please. We want to use those columns and those rows to align our text boxes and our images too. And then when we're adding multiple text boxes, so if I want to add another text box, I want to leave that gutter space between them. Now I can alternatively, I'll make sure I can just copy and paste this, either copy Command Z, or sorry, Command C and P, or alternatively, I can hold down the Command Option, or Option Shift, and just copy and paste at the same time. Now I just want to make sure that that is actually not locked. Sorry, it's not. Oh, I got rid of it accidentally. Make sure that I have that columns and guides snap to. Yes, I do. Make sure that snap to guides is selected because I want this to make sure that that is snapping. Now it's snapping. It wasn't quite doing it before. If you want to just draw, I want that to snap to the margin, and then I'm just going to copy Command or Option and then just kind of paste and have that. Why is that not snapping? See, it's not really snapping to that guide, and it should be. Now if it's kind of doing that for you, I'm just going to turn it on and off and see if that works. Yeah, now that kind of works. So you can start laying out text boxes, you can start laying out image frames, but like I said, you don't have, you can skip that part and kind of just design as we go. It's kind of up to you how you want to do it. Sometimes that is easier, especially if you have done the work of, sketching it out. But if you haven't done the work, we're going to just kind of, I think, see how it goes and start designing and start playing with it. But we definitely want to have text in the text layer and images in the image layer. And we do probably know that we're going to have that first page is going to be a big full page spread image. So you can at the very least, have that image frame set up already. So in the next video, we're going to add some images.